Okay, welcome back. We are where we left off. We have the tire installed, but I'm going to take a brief interlude. And right now we're still waiting on the spokes, so there's really not much I can do without the spokes because I've got to get that other tire done. And so I thought we might as well just start focusing. I guess we have to do it anyway. So let's start on the transmission. So what it is I actually have some transmissions already, and I've generally assembled them, and it is this is one I purchased. This is the transmission I purchased with that $3,500 purchase. But I have two assembled already. I have this third one I bought. Plus, I probably have parts to build a fourth one. So generally, I'm going to build them and probably just sell them. I'm going to sell them. I don't really need them. But I thought I would just go through and, you know what? I'm going to tear them apart anyway because it is, there are slight derivations in these transmissions. So again, I'm going to my resource, which is Steve Silocone's book. So he has a picture of the variations of the VL transmissions. So this older one, this one that I just purchased, is actually a 1936. One that I built here, this one right here, is a 1936 as well. It has a broken piece though. So there is a piece that comes off that attaches the rear inner primary cover. So that's broken off. And I have another one right here that it actually is really kind of good to go because it has that piece. It seems like that piece breaks off all the time. The JDs did not have, you can see that piece. A lot of times the JDs did not have that piece. And even on this transmission right here, the 36 one, it actually does not have that piece. But I thought, you know what, let me just tear it apart. I mean, it's because it doesn't take that long to take everything apart and reinstall it. So I'm going to rebuild this one. And I've already got the clutches for these two. They're kind of like good to go. I'm going to tidy them up and I'm going to parkerize them. So I probably will shoot a video about how I parkerize it too. It's so stay tuned. I am probably first going to, I don't know, probably take these two apart again. And again, they don't take that long to take apart. And it's I've actually changed the bearings, and at least one of these I've changed the bearings. I put sealed bearings in. The other one does not have sealed bearings. So I think I have the sealed bearings for replacing it. So I may actually put sealed bearings in the one that doesn't have sealed bearings. So, and I know this case is broken here. I have, I think, another case. That just kind of bothers me. It is, I have another case that doesn't have that piece. So I would prefer to live with that versus having a transmission that has a broken case. But this is the one that's going to go on this motorcycle. And they work very well, actually. I mean, all of them do. So I'm going to kind of show you how they kind of work. So it's a 3-speed. So I've just shifted it. So you can see when I'm turning this shaft is turning as well. So I have this in first gear. The next, I've just shifted it to neutral. And so you can see this does not turn. I'm going to shift it now to second gear. So that is second gear. And you can see that it's turning. And now I'm going to flip it to, here is third gear. And so it is, this thing really needs to be turning to shift, because when I take off the cover, you're going to see there's like a sliding gear that just, it really needs to, for it to mesh, it needs to be turning. So right now I'm in first gear here. I've just shifted to neutral. I've just shifted to second. And I've just shifted to third. So all of them are the same. This one's a little bit harder because it's just stiffer. So right now I'm in first. And I shift it. Okay, well that's third. That's second. Okay, well that's first. This is neutral. So you can see this does not turn, so that's neutral. There's, yeah, this one's a pain. This one's incredibly stiff. So it is, but even this older one, it seems like it shifts very well actually. So obviously it's tougher to turn. So this is all turning. Then I shifted to neutral. So you see how this turns, and really this is not turning. So this is in neutral. And then I just shifted it to second. And then it's third. So even that one shifts very well. So we are going to, I'm going to get the transmission ready. So I'm going to use this case, and I'm going to rebuild this so that it actually is relatively smooth. And I think I have to change the bearings in this one. So that's why I need to we need to take a dig around and sit there and take a look around. But it is, we'll be able to see everything on it. And here's the Kickstarter mechanism for it. So we'll go through that. And it is, so I guess we're going to start shortly. We're going to get, well, I think I just may build all the transmissions that I have, because I've got like an entire weekend. I'm just waiting on spokes, so there's really not much to do. I want to get the back tire on, so it is, and I've ordered the back. The back wheel assembly has washers and felt washers and things that I've ordered as well, and I'm still waiting on a couple felt washers and a couple parts for the front, so that'll come in a week. So as opposed to me just sitting around, I'll get the transmissions done, and then we'll be able to do the back wheel. And once we get the back wheel done, I'll be able to actually do the engine. So it would be kind of nice to do the engine like maybe next week. But if I get the transmissions done, we'll have the transmission done, the engine done, the wheels hopefully will be done. So it will kind of go quickly. So, and the sooner we get the engine done, the sooner we can try to start it up. So I'm going to start on these transmissions shortly. So thank you. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is, well, I'm going to take this transmission apart, and I think I need to change the bearings in that. So, but before I do that, I'm going to take this transmission and degrease it. So it's just like really nasty. So I'm going to go and soak it in some degreaser. So I am going to just go off camera and just start getting that soaked. And when I come back, I will start taking apart this transmission. And we ultimately, I don't know if I'm going to take this one apart, but we'll take that one apart. And when I take it apart, we're going to change the bearings and I will rebuild it. So stand by and I'll be back in just a second. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to take off the cover first. And I have a tray here. I'm just going to put the parts on. Okay. So this is the transmission. And so in first here, this is like a sliding gear. So here's first. And this turns that as well. That's neutral. That doesn't turn it. And then that is second. And that is third. So it really looks nice in there, actually. So take this off. This is the starter mechanism with a spring. And there's a dust cap here. It actually has a sealed bearing in it already. So let me take this out. I'm going to take this ring out. Okay. So I'm going to have to tap that out, it looks like. Okay, I am not going to tear this one apart. This one I've already actually done the bearings on. So this one over here, I must not have done the bearings. So I'll work on that one. So on this one, I just need to install the Kickstarter. So again, it works great inside. Everything turns. That's second. Here is first. Here is neutral. Here is second, right here. And here is third. Here is third. So I am just going to install the, basically the kicker assembly. So I have so there's a plate that goes here. Followed by a spring that I just had. It's in my hand, which is awful. Here's the spring. So this is, there are two keys that go in here. I think there are two that are supposed to go in here. So I have the two keys in here. There's a washer, if it's over top. And I've got to air wrench that guy on, because it's a problem. So that is it. And let me get my air wrench so we can zip that thing on. Shouldn't be a problem. Okay. A little bit more. Okay, so it's in neutral. Okay, looks good. So we have the kicker assembly. Okay, so the next is the actual kicker cover. I've got the kicker arm on here already. And again, I'll take apart the other one. And I'm just going to put it on. Without the gasket. So obviously you want to do it when it's in neutral. Okay, so I need to put some studs in here, but this is good. And I guess before I work with this one, let's do the other one. And this one is kind of good to go. And I've got a little plug to put in there.